What's up, internet? It's the Jerry crew, yeah! Happy Hogwarts. That sounds stupid, but we're gonna keep it in. Hey, I'm repping the Death Eaters.
Got a Slytherin here, repping the Death Eater shirt, and then I'm Gryffindor. And today we're gonna be talking shit about ourselves and you at home.
Isn't that wholesome? Oh, for those of you who don't know, the Hogwarts houses are like 4 dorms that they have at the magical school of Hogwarts that represent 4 personality types. Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin.
And funnily enough, the 4 personality types in Harry Potter are actually personality types that, you know, actually do exist. Fight me if you have a problem with me spitting the truth.
If you want to like look up what like each of the houses like good halves like are, like I'm gonna leave a link in the description.
Yeah. If you wanna feel better about yourself after we just roast you today.
Yeah. I mean, that's valid. If you're new here, welcome. We post every week, or at least we try to.
So we're gonna start off the day by talking smack about Cassidy here.
Yeah.
And any other Slytherins that exist.
Slytherins are known as like colloquially as like the evil house. We all suck. Speaking of experience about why I suck.
Speaking of experience from knowing yourself for 20 years.
From knowing myself for 20 years. You can never tell what the fuck we are actually thinking.
I know I can't.
I can see why people can't with me because I'm the main editor of a lot of videos here on the channel. I'll like be editing and then I'll see like my facial expressions and I'll know that I was like anxious doing something, but like my face is just stone face. And I'm just like, I was having like a trauma going on internally, and I'm like,
she'll point it out to me, she'll be like, oh, you see right there? I was actually having a mental breakdown there, and I'll just be like,
literally, like, it's something. You also don't know where you stand with them. That's very true because, like, I guess something to note about Slytherins, we are selective, and everything we do is very thought out.
That means I'm special, because I'm a special person.
Slytherins get a bad rep of being like, oh, we're fake, oh, we're this, and I mean, to be honest, we kind of can be. Not for like the reasons that you think. I mean, a lot of times, sometimes it is. At least I could speak for myself, at least I always just try to like be, like, I guess this is a Libra problem too, like Libras just try to be friendly to people and give people like I don't know, just like respect, I guess, they deserve as people, even if we don't particularly care for them. People can take being nice to people you don't really care for as being fake.
She just wants to be friendly now.
Yeah, I just want to be friendly. And I can't speak for all Slytherins. Like, in my opinion, there's kind of like two types of every house. We're going to talk about
that in another video.
But you definitely see that with Slytherin. Passive aggressive. We have a lot of emotions and we don't know how, like, to vocalize them. I know Slytherins also, we will hold back. Let's say somebody insults us, like let's say at work or something. We like won't like usually give a comeback right to their face right then. We usually wait for like an opportunity for them to be down. And then that's when we go into like the passive aggressiveness. I mean, I've done that to this one girl at work. It was really savage and it was really great. She was calling me a dumb bitch, and that was my name, like to her. She like literally would be like, hey, dumb bitch, like. So yeah, she deserved it at least.
Yeah, she deserved the wrath of Cass.
Yes. So I guess next. Slytherins are very emotional, but we always, like, we try to put on a facade. A lot of us seem very cold, but I guess keep in mind, like, ice is still water, so.
Slytherin was, basically based off of Scorpio or water signs in general, which water signs are known for being very emotional.
They can be cold-hearted. Like it's usually like it's voluntarily cold-hearted, which kind of makes it worse. Your cold-blooded boss might be a Slytherin. Another thing about Slytherins are that they're very ruthless, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing. Just figure out when it's like right to, I guess, unleash the dragons and when it's time to hold back, which honestly, we're pretty calculated, so I feel like we'd be fine eventually if we work on that. We can be controlling. We can be controlling in different ways, because here's the thing with me, at least, like, I'm not controlling over other people, but I can try to, like...
She wants a lot of control over her own life.
Over my own life, yeah. Well, and it's kind of, like, it's to a point where it causes anxiety for me. I mean, I think part of that might be attached to the, like, you know, the fact that I have OCD. But Like, honestly, like, Slytherins, we just gotta learn how to, like, accept what's in our power and what's not in our power, and what's not in our power, we just have to, you know, always just figure out how to use it to our advantage somehow, because we're survivors ultimately.
I enjoy Slytherins, I enjoy this one. I'm gonna talk shit about myself.
Looking at you, Gryffindor, looking at
Gryffindor. Oh yeah, I have experience being one of those. I think you can tell that I'm one. I think anybody who's talked to me for more than 10 seconds can tell that I am one. So number one, you guys are short-tempered, angry freaks. There's a Gryffindor over there giving me the finger.
I was just giving you a heart.
I love you.
I love you so much.
Yeah, they're short-tempered, angry freaks. There's an example. It doesn't take much for me to want to fight you.
Even if they don't show it externally, it's definitely internally.
Most of the time I'm showing it externally. If it's not like within my body movements, it's within my face. I usually give like a face. But unlike Slytherin, I will punch you right there, right then. It doesn't even matter if it's like something that I like believe or like anything. If there's angry people around me, I'm gonna get into it. We're impulsive. We will destroy everything you own. If you harm someone I love or someone I care about, listen, I will impulsively eat all of your Chef Boyardee. Does that make you feel better?
It does.
If someone fucks you up,
You're gonna eat all the Chef
all
Boyardee.
of their Chef Boyardee. We're argumentative. We will pick a fight for no reason.
Just for LOL.
Like I said, you bring me to a rally, even if it's something I know nothing about. People around me are angry. I'm just gonna start going to town. Don't take me to a rally. Yes. She took me to one.
I did take
It was
her to
okay because no one was particularly angry, so I was just standing there. But if people were angry, we're cocky motherfuckers. We're like a little arrogant.
You're not very arrogant, but I've met some that are.
Listen, and like I'm not cocky. Here's the thing. Like Cassidy will say like I'm great or like I'm a good
Be
friend.
like, you're a great friend,
Like she'll
Kate.
just be like, you're a great friend, Kate. I'll just be like, hell yeah, I am. No shit. Look at me. I'm the actual fucking shit.
Like you always just do it kind of in like a very like playful way.
With me, it's more of in a joking way. It can be taken as I actually believe this shit, but it's mostly just me joking around. On the inside, I hate my life. They're self-righteous. Their views are the only views.
Yeah, I mean we see this a lot throughout the books if you've read them.
I'm not necessarily like that. I feel like everyone has their own views. Can't really change them.
That's kind of a flaw that we see more in the books, like especially with like our protagonists are all pretty much in Gryffindor and the antagonists are Slytherins.
And then the last one is they think every other house is a pussy. I'm not confirming nor denying that I think that. I'm kidding. I don't actually think that. I know that everybody goes about their ways the own way, but I have seen a lot of Gryffindors think that just because a Slytherin waits things out and doesn't confront things in the moment, that they have thought like, oh what, you're a pussy, you can't like confront that person in their face, and it's just like, no, some people have other ways of going about things. I personally would yell in that person's face right in the moment and eat their liver.
I guess you're Hannibal Lecter, I guess. this is news to me. I guess now we're on to Ravenclaw.
I love talking smack about Ravenclaw.
Oh, I used to think that I was a Ravenclaw until I took the Pottermore test.
Boy, are you wrong.
I was like divergent, I was weird. I had to choose between Hufflepuff and Slytherin, and I chose Slytherin. Yeah, Hufflepuff's my secondary, but yeah, we'll get to them later.
Slytherin's my secondary. Also, Jules is Ravenclaw. Read.
Okay, Ravenclaws, they can have a superiority complex. Think about your really, really, like, arrogant professor that thinks that they know the mind of God.
Think of a British owl.
They can be very selective about who they hang around to, I guess kind of like Slytherins, but their reasons are different. They want to be surrounded by people that are like just as intellectually inclined as them. Me personally, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. Also, I guess another thing, going off of that, they think that people that don't agree with them are ignorant or closed-minded. Ravenclaws pride themselves on being open-minded and also like kind of counterculture. They like to be strange, they want to be odd, like that's kind of their calling card thing. They want to be
unique.
Yeah, they want to be unique. They can be perfectionists about stuff that really doesn't matter. Ravenclaws don't do things to achieve goals, they just do things for the sake of doing them. So that can lead to, perfectionism about stuff that usually people maybe don't understand. There's nothing wrong with that sometimes. They can be really detached. Their element is air, so that's the most detached element, I guess, of the 4 elements of the zodiac. And that can kind of lead sometimes to lack of empathy or lack of remorse.
Not all Ravenclaws are like this.
No.
Okay?
They think they know more than you do. Sometimes, they do, but it's impossible to know everything about everything. The wisest Ravenclaws will know that already.
It's like if I was speaking to a Ravenclaw, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Ravenclaw would act like they know more about my severe depression than I do.
They typically are not team players, which that can be fine sometimes.
They like to work alone.
When there's exams going on, Ravenclaws will kind of backstab each other to get the best marks. Whereas Slytherins will kind of work together for the good of the house, because Slytherins are very success driven. One thing I do like about being around other Slytherins is that they do genuinely want you to succeed. It might be because they want to look good too by being associated with you, but they do push you to get to your goals. They don't try to knock you down. Kind of see a lot of eagle on eagle crime, I guess. Yeah, that's the darker side of Ravenclaw.
Eagle. Why isn't it a raven? Okay, so we're gonna be talking smack about Hufflepuff.
We're actually going to be talking about negative traits about Hufflepuff. I know that's probably sounding absurd to some of you guys. The stuff that we're gonna be talking about are negative traits that are actually their fault. A lot of times on Tumblr, I will see negative traits of Hufflepuff being oh, they're passive, or oh, they let people walk all over them, and I don't see that as their problem. I see that as the bully's problem, that they're bullying people. Passiveness is something you see a lot in victims of abuse. I guess by saying that that's the passive individual's fault, that's kind of a form of victim blaming. The Y chromosome of the Jerry crew, Derek, is a Hufflepuff, and then our friend Katie is also a Hufflepuff.
She's been in a couple videos before.
Fanfiction aficionado. Sorry guys, we're gonna be talking about why your house sucks.
Okay, so number 1 is they're dismissive.
It's more of they don't want to be a bother. It's they could do something and they know they could do something.
Yeah, they could tell their Gryffindor friend to beat them up. It's almost like they feel like they aren't allowed to do anything about it. It's they totally are.
It doesn't even have to be aggressive. They just need to do something.
And the next one is enablers to bad behavior.
Hufflepuffs are just extremely loving people, and
They just want you to feel better.
they just want you to,
Katie just wants me to feel better. So the next one is they're self-destructive.
A lot of times I've noticed in Hufflepuff personalities, they can abuse substances. They can be kind of escapists.
Yeah. There are a lot of potheads in Hufflepuff.
I'm not saying that being a pothead in and of itself is
Oh, no,
bad,
I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about more alcohol.
Yeah.
They self-medicate with that. That's okay. But to the point where it's self-destructive, maybe it's not. Too impartial. I don't know what that word means.
Basically not taking a side to a fault. Let's say there's a boss that's a tyrant. Gryffindors and sometimes Slytherins and stuff are trying to work together to take that bitch down. Hufflepuffs will kind of be I don't want to get involved. They don't want to make anybody mad.
Yeah. Patty. I don't know anyone named Patty who's a Hufflepuff, but I'm sure there's someone out there. They think anger bad. I don't know why I wrote it like that.
It's kind of ironic. They think very negatively of negative emotions, and they think that if they are experiencing negative emotions or that other people are, that means that they're bad people. I was upset about something, mad, pissed off, and they're just kind of you need to just find the peace within yourself. It's no, I want to smash something.
No, I need to feel angry right now, and it's just what good is feeling angry going to do? And it's just well, I can't just turn it off. It's of course you should feel angry. If you're feeling angry, you can't exactly control what emotion you're feeling.
It would be kind of creepy, if everybody was happy just all the time. Say they're in a war zone or something, and everybody's just happily shooting. Be it's okay to feel negative emotions. It's not always okay to act on them. Accept yourself and your contradictions. So yeah, moving on.
Last one, they can be biased.
Hufflepuffs have a huge mob mentality, and what I mean by that, they're going to think more of the well-being of the group than individuals. Their element's earth, that's like they're the polar opposite of Ravenclaw, which is air, which they're always like worried about the individual. Hufflepuff's worried about the good of the community. I guess Hufflepuffs are kind of like the ones that founded communism. I even heard like somebody that I follow online who's a Hufflepuff. She was talking about some problem in society, and she's just like 96% of the population doesn't have this problem, only 4% does. Sorry, I'm gonna be more worried about protecting the 96% than helping the 4%. Like, they wanna worry more about the majority than the individual, even if the individual is more right. We kind of see this in the books too. Like, sometimes the Hufflepuffs aren't the best characters, I guess, to Harry. Like, they kind of all team up against him, and they're very biased against him, especially in like Chamber of Secrets. And they won't listen to what he has to say because one of their own thinks that Harry bad, so that means that he must be bad, and we don't need proof. And honestly, some of these negative traits can like overlap with like throughout different houses, because everybody's human and everybody has aspects of all the houses.
You have little like sprinkles of like the other things, but that doesn't mean that you're anywhere close. I love my family. That's a Hufflepuff thing. Sometimes I like proving people wrong. That's a Ravenclaw thing.
Yeah.
But I'm none of those, and I don't want to be.
No, I don't want that.
Anyway, if you like what you saw, please click like and subscribe.
Subscribe to see more of whatever the heck this was.
Bye.
Bye.
The last note of a song from Jerry and his fucked up